Hi Pisces, I hope you guys are doing great today. Welcome to your messages for the 7th through the 13th. Let's get right into things. So we have the Gemini new moon solar eclipse on Thursday the 10th, and that's on the heels of that lunar eclipse that we had on May 26th. That's going to be conjunct Mercury retrograde, square Neptune. So that's going to be a little wonky for you guys, having to do with your first house, right? So the new moon, Mercury retrograde, those two energies are happening in your fourth house of home. And the eclipse, same, that new moon eclipse and that Mercury retrograde is going to be squaring Neptune, which is in your first house of self. So straight up, Pisces, I do want to say what I'm feeling, right? My premeditative shuffle, I just kept feeling like Pisces has no idea how someone feels about them. Like you think somebody feels a particular way about you, but you're incorrect. But in a way where you're confused about how somebody feels about you, but they feel more positively than you realize. So I just want to say that straight out of the gate, okay? Before I even pull anything, because that was what just came to me. So you might be thinking, oh, that person has no respect for me, or they were a horrible friend, or that family member is crazy, or that ex, I bet, never thinks about me, whatever it is. And it's like, no. No, no. But it's not clear to you right now because you have your ruler Neptune in you, in your first house of self right now. And it's really challenging with this tension, the squaring tension, to the root of how you see yourself. That is the fourth house. Fourth house is so much more than home, which is why I want to talk about it, right? It really is like the root of being. It's how you end things. It's, you're in a base of operation. When I say home, it's your metaphorical home as well. It's just, and a lot of you are going to be doing a lot of very deep reflection about your past, about your childhood. A lot of you having to do with the hidden parent, which could certainly have to do with, for many people, it has to do with the dad is usually the hidden parent, but it could certainly be the mother as well in a situation where there's a lot of reflection about, why you do what you do and what impact that particular individual may have had on your life, right? Because it's Mercury retrograde. Mercury is a very mental energy in this fourth house of you're looking at going back over your past, right? Fourth house is a very direct connection to your early childhood, what you find when you retreat back into yourself. And how could you have that without looking back at the past, right? It's pretty impossible. So a lot of you doing a lot of reflection, but meanwhile, back at the ranch, somebody's thinking about you. So, and I don't feel like you see it. All right, so build on solid ground, bust out of your cocoon, be of service, raise your vibration. So for this particular spread, this is just in general for the astrology. So we're talking Mercury retrograde. Well, we know, okay, already. I don't want to keep talking about Mercury retrograde. We talk about it all the damn time because it's retrograde half the time, right? So, be careful if you're signing anything. You might be likely to lose stuff. Your electronics might wonk out. Your car might have an issue, all of that. But also lots of reminiscing. So don't be surprised there. You might also be getting a little pop by from somebody from your past. Don't be surprised if that's the case. So that's with the Mercury retrograde. Now, as far as the eclipse squaring Neptune, this is the thing. The eclipse, that energy in your fourth house, Pisces, I want to tell you, good energy is on tap for you, having to do with home, having to do with everything that I mentioned, either where you're living, how you are in private, living with somebody, doing work on your home, all of these things that we're talking about, okay? Ultimately really good stuff. It's just right now, particularly for this month, Mercury retrograde is adding a very weird flavor to everything. And I'm saying weird because it's not only Mercury retrograde, and it's not only the squaring of the eclipse energy to Neptune. I actually don't even feel like that's going to be that big a deal for you. Yeah, you have this general fog. You're not really sure about particular things, but what's really weird here, I think, what I noticed when I was looking at the energy is there is this influence by some fixed stars, and I don't want to confuse anybody, but some fixed stars that's going to be giving us a very unique kind of self-confidence and courage, but also a tendency towards recklessness and almost like a type of belligerence, but all of us. So it's like, while we're confused, we're going to feel like, hey, I could do that. So it's like, whoa, okay, wait a minute. What's real? What's not real? So don't be surprised if you're in that weird space, right, where you're feeling really confident, thinking, no, I totally know what I'm doing. Totally know. But meanwhile, like low-key, maybe not so low-key, there's this underpinning narrative where it's like, I really don't know what's going on. I'm not sure. So you want to avoid being gullible, particularly with the eclipse squaring Neptune. Yes, because secrets are going to be harder to keep and harder to uncover. Personal relationships can be subject to like a lot of dishonesty and deception. So, and don't be surprised if while you're on the one hand feeling, I can do this, I'm feeling very self-confident, you're also at the other side of your emotions going, oh, but I feel kind of insecure, I feel kind of guilty, I feel kind of apologetic. So it's a very weird mix of emotions. It's just the best word for it, right? And we have that Mercury retrograde squaring Neptune, so of course more confusion, okay, whatever. But the Saturn squaring Uranus, I feel like that's going to be more of a thing for you. That's going to be happening between your 12th house of the hidden, the subconscious, that's where you guys live, right? You guys are the 12th house energy. So it's that energy, right? Which is where Saturn's going to be, which is about restrictions. You're feeling a lot of like subconscious restrictions, not being able to manifest what it is that you really want to bring into your life right now. That could, right, that's Saturn in the 12th, right? So that's squaring though that energy of Uranus, which is all about shocking changes and surprises happening in that third house energy. So it could be a lot of things that are going on where you feel like you're battling. Maybe you really want to move, but you just can't. Or you really want to feel more secure in something, but something's missing. You want to feel or understand something in a particular way, but it's just not clear to you, right? The third house is Gemini, which is ruled by Mercury. So there's going to be this lack of, I'm not only going to say communication and, in a healthy way, but there's also going to be this sort of restrictive change or unexpected restriction where it could bring change that you really don't want. It also makes it harder to make the kind of changes that you do want. So it could be very, very frustrating when it comes to dealing with your siblings, dealing with your neighborhood, dealing with your day-to-day, dealing with learning anything new, doing any kind of business situation, communicating with anybody new. Just have an open mind, stay patient, stay flexible. That is the remedy for this, okay? Because what can first seem like a challenge could be turned into an opportunity to rid yourself of something that's not so great, that's kind of negative, that feels restrictive, that feels very limiting to your life, okay? Yeah. So we have build on solid ground is being clarified by pride, being clarified by TikTok, being clarified by the pool. Happy summer. By the Fool. So you want to build something on solid ground. Healthy pride, nothing wrong with that. You want to make sure that you're being respected, right? And whatever it is that you are involved in. But you don't want anything that's going to be over the top, like too prideful. Not really your jam, Pisces. I don't know what else is in your chart, though. I don't know what else is aspecting. I don't know you. But you want to be very aware of the idea of pride. But what I like here, you want to build on solid ground. You're very, very aware of time, okay? And we have the Fool. So the Fool is about doing something different. It's Uranus, right? It's like, come on, let's go. Let's do something different. So in career, money, it's a new path, a new opportunity, a new approach to whatever it is that you're doing now. If it's relationship, this could indicate a new relationship or a new start or approach in a relationship, like doing things differently than before and going with the flow. Really great energy. We love it. We love the Fool. We love the Fool because the Fool is brave. The Fool is about taking calculated risks. So we have bust out of your cocoon. Oh, wow. Bust out of your cocoon is being clarified by healing. Wow. Very nice energy, which is being clarified by here and now. Stay in the moment. Stay in the moment. Don't allow that anxiety to kind of run you over in the middle of the road, because that Nine of Swords is a tricky energy. It's anxiety, it's overwhelm, it's worry, it could even be depression, but really it is feeling sort of very unhinged in the moment, where you feel like you're not responding well to the external stress because you're way out if something is not clear. So common to feel when you have Saturn in the 12th. When I say unhinged, so you could be in a room full of people and no one really knows what's going on. It's a very internal energy, very internal, right? This is a Mars and Gemini energy, right? So Mars is like fresh path, new perspective, and it's communicating with you, right? Because this is Gemini, rules your mental realm. It's like, where are you going? What are you doing? It's like, I don't know, right? So for that, in that way, it could be pretty much of a tricky energy, because you really need to bust out of whatever it is that you're doing and do something different in order to heal. You know that, but right now, stay in the here and now and work through whatever anxiety you're working through. Now, I like this energy for you, because this is very much about, all right, let me just see. Let me just see. In other words, I feel like you're going to be more responsive than reactive to a situation, which is really good. Be of service. This is a very 6th house energy. This is a very Virgo energy. This is a very problem-solving energy. And that's being clarified by home. Yeah, sometimes it comes up that direct. So, okay, problem-solving having to do with home, because there's some sort of never-ending story. So some of you just may be in a space where you're just trying to step back and say, you know what? I think I need to look at stuff differently. Right? You just might need to look at stuff differently right now. Step back and analyze what's not working. Right? It might be time to try a different approach or a different path. Might be time to move. It might be time to completely restructure your house. It might be time to have that person move in with you, or them move in with you, or something like that. Now, if this has to do with a relationship, still a problem-solving energy here as well, because this is Virgo. So we have like a lot of Virgo energy here, I feel like. But the Hermit energy, if it has to do with a relationship, if you're alone right now, it's because whatever you were in up to this point hasn't been meant for you. And it's time to really work on yourself and just think about these past experiences so that those mistakes aren't repeated in the future, right? For those of you who are in a relationship, it's time to invest a lot more energy and time to work to smooth over a particular issue that needs addressing. Okay? But you're in this space of needing to raise your vibration because you're feeling some sort of hole in your soul. You're feeling a sense of lack. And that's being clarified by new life. Wow. Wow. Beautiful 3 cups. Mutually supportive energy here, lots of support, being circled by support. There's healing here. This is a really good energy for a new relationship, creation. If you're revisiting a relationship, you guys just being on the same page. But I love this. Raise your vibration. Yeah. And recognize where the hole in your soul is. And you may be look, out of all signs that could be doing that right now, identifying that Pisces is where it's at, right? I mean, first of all, you guys live in the 12th house. You have Saturn in there who's saying, I know it's uncomfortable, but you have to look at that. Nope, you're not done yet. You have to shift your perspective. And you have to recognize, where is that sense of lack and how can you bring that to yourself? What does that even mean in your life? So that's what I see for the general energies. I like it. Okay. So let's move on. Let's move on to relationship. We'll get some more specific messages for relationship now. And then we'll move on to career again. Timestamp below with that 20% off code for my June special. Saturn return. Age. Time. Restriction. All right. Let's see what we have. Clean it up. Clean it up, Pisces. Something to clean up. What do you have to clean up in relationship? Something that's still lingering from the past, some sort of messy thing that you have yourself in now. Woo! We have 5 of Swords. Listen, some sort of clash of desire and reality. The way you want something is not how something is rolling out. We have the Empress energy, Venus. This is all about growth and expansion. True love. Venus is all about love. And then we have the beautiful Eight of Wands. Okay, Pisces, this might be somebody reaching out to you or you needing to reach out to somebody else, I have to tell you. Because whatever you're, like, there's a situation that's going on right now within relationship that you feel really uncomfortable with. But the thing is, it's not the kind of thing that you could fix alone. That's the thing with the Five of Swords. Five of Swords energy, again, it is this clash of desire and reality, and it's this ongoing conflict, but the core of the conflict is not coming from your end, it's coming from somebody else's end. So now you have to ask yourself, is there validity to the conflict? You might not agree with it, you don't have to agree with it, but it's just a matter of understanding it, right? That's what empathy is, right? It's just understanding, you don't have to agree. But it does seem like somebody's going to be calling somebody, I don't know. This is great news about love, especially if you've been separated. Something that you've been waiting for happening here, and there's this movement forward. So we have shine your light being clarified by the Eight of Coins, figuring out mastering how to temper a situation, and how to master, you figuring out how to master the tempering of a situation so that a new level of trust and patient cooperation can be had in the idea of relationship after what's been a really challenging time. Now, those of you who are single, you may still be going through this energy. You understand? Well, you're recognizing like something maybe didn't work in the past, not because of you, but because of somebody else. Where maybe somebody else ended it, whether they had good reason to or not, kind of doesn't even matter here. It really doesn't. But you being very focused on something. But I do feel like a lot of you are going to be reconnecting with somebody from the past. If you don't want to, guys, then don't answer the phone. You know what I'm saying? Don't pick up the phone. Don't answer the phone. I can only tell you the energy that I'm getting here, right? Don't try to make it fit if it's not resonating. If they were a narcissist, don't even bother, right? But there is this need to settle a conflict, either within yourself or with somebody else, and you might feel really unclear right now how to handle the situation. And the advice here, because it's King of Cups, is certainly to go with your heart. But there's this healing here, and the shining your light, I feel like it's just, I'm being called to just say it's honesty. It's just allowing yourself to be very, very vulnerable. So we have the idea of dreams here. What's going on here? I'm sure you've been having a lot of dreams. Yeah, because Saturn is Chronos, it's age, it's time, right? We got Saturn here, and we have Saturn in your 12th house, which is where the dreams hang out. Seven of Wands, Mars in Leo. Yes, feeling this obstacle. See, things might be challenging for you right now, but it's like you feel this need temporarily anyway to fight for a relationship, stand up for your relationship, which is fine, as long as you feel like that person would do the same thing for you. Because this is an idea like your morality and your personal philosophy is going to be very important to you right now. Eight of Cups, clarifying that. And then we have the Three of Wands. Yeah. I feel like in your 12th house, in your heart of hearts, you are feeling very defensive of yourself, probably for a great reason, whatever it is, and you feeling that you need to just walk away from something. This is about departure and change and emotional intelligence, right? Recognizing that something just doesn't feel right and you have to move on from it, right? It's time to just really work on yourself and just go in a different direction, because we have the Three of Wands. It's good energy. This is an indicator for a wedding, an important relationship, just moving on to realized plans, but with somebody different, somebody unconventional. Or dealing with some sort of unconventional situation. Some of you might be in a relationship, but you're thinking about somebody from your past. I don't know, and I feel like I've been getting that for Pisces a lot. I'm getting like three energies here. I don't feel like this row is the same for this energy here. All right, let's finish pulling and then we'll see what else we got. So Saturn return. Saturn return is all about age, time, history. There's a history here. Wherever you see Saturn, Saturn's not new. Saturn, it means that there's a history. And Saturn is in your 12th house. The 12th house is ruled by Neptune, right? It's your home. You guys are ruled by Neptune. It's all about your emotions and the underworld of your emotions and everything that you've been through. We have the Emperor clarifying that. We have the Chariot in the reverse. And we have the Knight of Wands. The Knight of Wands. Okay. There's definitely this energy where you really want to try to work something out. But I want to pick out the Chariot reverse first, because Chariot reverse can indicate some arrogance and kind of like a self-indulgent energy, right? Now, this can manifest as a person kind of spiraling out of control and going off the right path, where there's egotism and selfishness indicated, where there's a change in focus needed, right? There's a change in focus. I kind of feel like this is speaking to those fixed stars that I was talking about. More about like that self-confidence and courage, but yet because there's a lack of clarity, I feel like you just want to fix something. You really want to fix something. The Emperor energy is an Aries energy, which is, ruled by Mars. It's like, I want to do what I want to do, is I really feel like I want to take control of something, right? This is really very much, I want to do it. I want to address future plans. I want to, practical matters, all of that. I want to address it in this current relationship, or I want to go out and meet somebody new. I want to problem solve. I want my life to go smoothly, and I want to just move it on. But then we have when we have it clarified by the Chariot energy, though, you might not be thinking totally clearly right now, but hey, we know that, right? With all of this energy that we've been talking about. But let's look at this wrapping up energy here. The Knight of Wands is about firing up your ambition here. Events speeding up, locks being lifted, decisions coming in. Boom, boom, boom. Let's go. But this is where it gets tricky. This is a very fast energy, and Saturn is slow as shit. Saturn is. It's Chronos, it's age, it's no, not yet, not like that. You have to look at it a little differently. So if you're in this space where you feel like you're going to be moving forward really quickly in something, I'm not saying not to do it at all. I'm not saying that. Just press the pause button and just sit back and say, okay, I want to make sure that this is the right thing for me in the long run. Even if somebody is contacting you, and it's very easy to sort of jump back into a particular patterning or something like that, be very careful. And make sure, and I'm saying this, please don't take offense to this, I'm being called to say it about this. You want to be very realistic about another energy where, how do I want to say this? Because it's important. Somebody has deeper feelings for you than you realize. And when you realize that, you don't want to get swept up in that moment. That's what I want to say. General message. Take what resonates, throw out the rest. Okay. Sorry for that delay. Things were coming in literally in a spiral, and it's just very weird to try to break the message down to bring it into a form of articulation. All right, let's talk about money for a few minutes, okay? Trust the divine plan. Be flexible. So this is trust the divine plan. Be flexible. Letting go of something, some sort of idea, something that you were involved in. Taurus, nice money energy. Okay, we'll take it. Use the Tarot de la Nuit for this one. cards de la nuit. So these were the cards I just used for the relationship read. Okay. Now these are what I'm using for this. Okay. I never remember to tell you guys my cards. Okay. Trust the divine, the star, beautiful. King of Cups, beautiful. Nice. Flexible. Justice, good. Yep. Taurus. All right, so we have trust the divine plan being clarified by the beautiful star energy. I mean, that star is great, right? It's about money, luck, work you do begins to pay off. You've considered your long-term goals. You've prioritized well. You might be pushed to start some sort of new business, really, I guess, explode some sort of hidden talent that you could put to good use, right? I mean, because this is really about your star rising here. Beautiful. King of Cups, rather. Very nice energy. This is a great energy for when we're talking about career and money, because first of all, it tells me that you're going to be following your heart, but also you're going to be very open and perceptive to understanding where any sort of conflict needs to be settled, either within yourself or with somebody else regarding the situation. You're going to just be very open to hearing people, which is nice, because it does seem like you might have to do some ego stroking here. There might be some tensions at work due to ego, but the kind of situation that can be pretty easily resolved through empathy. Somebody with strong opinions might need help calming their ego down so that their mind can open up, right? You might even, Pisces, you might even need to play mediator in a particular situation having to do with money. So this idea of flexible is being clarified by the justice energy. Now, when we say flexible, obviously it means, go with the wind a little bit, right? But it doesn't mean to be unhinged or ungrounded. Flexible means you're able to cooperate with something for a win-win situation. You might feel or experience a challenging situation right now having to do with money or your career that actually feels like a test, right? And this energy means things are going to go well and in your favor. Like any kind of negotiation, interview, anything like that, where there needs to be a meeting of the minds is going to go well. If money's been an issue, things are set to improve, but it's only after having some really good conversation and finding a win-win situation and something that's fair, right? Fairness. And you might be in a space where you're trying to figure out a different strategy. Stepping back, right? Stepping back to figure out a better strategy for moving forward regarding the situation. But I feel like that's absolutely exactly what you need to be doing. A beautiful Ace of Coins, auspicious, very auspicious energy, very good energy for getting what you want, right? Money coming to you quickly, or at least you're being shown how to achieve what it is that you want. It's going to end up bringing you to a foundation of stability. So if you're having any kind of good luck right now, don't question it. Just say, thank you, thank you, thank you. That's it. But there's got to be some sort of letting go of a particular situation. Now that letting go is going to come via some sort of conversation, right? Because the Two of Cups is that kind of negotiation energy, right? Where there's this beautifully productive conversation, right? And some sort of positive proposal is going to come in. Things have been really difficult. This is about harmony returning, right? Harmony returning. So really about whatever didn't work up to this point, let it go, let it go, let it go. It wasn't meant to, it just wasn't meant, right? This is you being very, very smart with what you're doing with your time, your investments. This is about increased prosperity, financial growth, really good investment, any kind of business venture that you're either doing individually or even with a partner, going really well. This is an increase in finances, really great. Stability and security, I really like it. But it's not by accident. It's because of the way you're approaching something. There's this element of consistency involved, Okay, so you're going to know if that resonates with you. If you've been working very consistent in something, it's like time for that payday, my friend, right? That is what I'm seeing here. We have the Ace of Wands, beautiful energy. This is just about new beginnings, new enterprise, new business, new creative project, ideas popping. This is an energy of virility and growth. So this is a new chapter of creativity, of motivation. You're just going to feel very passionate about something moving forward. But the switch off here is you have to let something else go. Something that didn't work, let it go. We have Taurus. Taurus is the landlord of the second house of money. Taurus is ruled by Venus, so this is also, a Venusian energy. But Taurus isn't only about money. It's everything that matters to you. It's what you value. It's your body. It's the roof over your head. But keeping with the energy of this reading, Taurus does rule the money that you make from the work that you do. And we have clarifying that the moon. And the moon can be putting you in this kind of headspace where it's like, all right, look, I ultimately achieved what I wanted to, but was it worth the effort? You just feeling being in the space where you don't want to just do a job just for the paycheck. You don't want to do that anymore. You want to feel a particular sense of satisfaction, and whatever that means to you. I don't know what else is in your chart. I mean, for some of you, it's just going to be like to do something that's just completely artistic. You guys are so artistic. For others of you, depending on like where your Aries or your Sagittarius is in your chart, or even your Leo energy, maybe you want to be in charge of something in a different way, right? So it depends. You're going to manifest differently here. Right, but you being in this space where it's just like, you know what, feeling very underwhelmed by whatever it is that you're doing for money right now. And we have this working with the Five of Swords. Five of Swords, again, this energy comes up for you, whereas there is this lack of alignment between what it is that you want and the reality that you're living. And it's that conflict, though, that you don't have the divide between what it is that you want and what you're living is kind of a matter of the result of other things going on around you and less because of direct decisions that you've made. Do you know what I mean? And it's you recognizing that you're not living the life that you really, really want, but you might be in the space of feeling confused, right? Seven of Cups is about choices and confusion, commitment issues. You're not sure what's real, what's not. Things feel up in the air, even though you feel like you're at the beginning stages of something. And you know what? I'm not even going to pull any clarifiers on that because of the confusing energy we have this week, just because of the astrology. So you know what I say, Pisces? Good things are coming in. If you're not sure exactly what it all looks like, you're exactly where you're supposed to be. Because if you're like, it's definitely going to be this way, it's definitely going to be that way. I'm like, be a little careful of that for this month, because I want you to think about this particular Mercury retrograde being like on steroids times 10. Again, because of the fixed stars, because of Neptune, because of Uranus, because of all of these other things going on, it's going to be confusing. So if you do make some sort of solid decision, you just have to be prepared that by mid-July, you might end up realizing some certain facts, some certain situation coming to light that you could not possibly have seen this month. Okay? So it looks good. You're going in a good direction. And if you're a little confused, that's okay. Stay open. You don't have to make any big decisions like today. All right? So just enjoy the rest of your day. Enjoy your week. Ride with the fog. Ride the fog. It's going to clear up, I promise you. And you're going to be in a good situation at that point, my friends. All right, that is what I have for you. Thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.